So we're gonna switch to Bucky O'Hare, which is an extremely cool one. This is one of my favorite games of all time, but we have a weird category to show you. So again, since we're a little bit ahead here, I can explain what's going on. And then you can tell me after if you want, like Turtles 2, Alex, if not. So, Bucky O'Hare is a Konami platformer from, I think it's like 1992. And we have, in this section right here, right, a health bar. So you can literally see life is your health bar. And this is what a health bar looks like. You can take a bunch of hits. It's very generous. Bucky's a little bit notorious because it's very easy to accidentally die. There's like instant death everywhere. But in terms of the health bar situation, you have a health bar. You have a huge amount of life, and then on top of that too, you eventually get access to like hearts and stuff like that. So the good thing is, oh, there's no heart here. I thought there was a heart on the screen. Anyway, oh, there you go. See, look, once you grab a heart, you get more life. So once you have max health, you can take hits for days. So provided you're not jumping down like pits and stuff like that, you are able to take literally, I don't even know what it is, probably like 60 hits or something. So we are going to run the category hard mode. What is hard mode? Hard mode is actually an anti-piracy feature. And what hard mode is if you were a kid back then with your access to floppy disks and stuff like that, and you stole this game, it would activate an anti-piracy feature that literally makes every damage, one hit kill. So now everything will kill us in one hit. We'll see this at some point. Probably. I do have a run in this where I did 0 hits. Like I didn't take a single death. So it is easily, again, one of my favorite speedruns of all time. This is a really cool one. This one does have a Discord if you want to join it. We're gonna take this climb a little bit weirder because I started doing something and I really have to kind of remember like what to do and what not to do. Because the last time I was running this was actually like not even last week, but it was normal category. And normal, you can obviously take like all kinds of damage, and there is damage boosting. In hard mode, there's literally no damage boosting because you'll automatically get killed in a hit. So what's kind of cool about this game is I am utterly convinced, I have no proof of it, but I am utterly convinced that the developers literally developed like different levels, like different screens and stuff like that. And they did so with literally anti-piracy in mind. And you'll be able to see that in like the 2 screens coming up from here. Not necessarily this one, but like the next screen after this one. So this screen is a little bit annoying casually when you're playing it the first time, not to take a hit on with all the falling rocks. The following screen with the lasers though is like truly annoying not to take a hit on. And we will wait until there's a certain rock formation. And I have to remember, I'm just gonna wait, because otherwise I'm gonna take a hit. So we're gonna wait for that rock and then we'll go. So this section in particular is like one of the screens that I feel is like an anti-piracy screen. It was literally developed to make sure that if you stole the game back then, like you probably couldn't progress past this screen. And here we go. What's up, Jackie? Alright, so we got the 2 cycle. That's a little bit hard to do. And we saved Blinky. He's a little robot. We have to enter the blue planet. This is the only time that menuing matters on the overworld. So we need to push right. And then after we're done talking to Blinky, go to the blue planet. So there we go. So now I really have to train my brain because I haven't really run hard mode in a while. So I have to remember I can't damage boost through like this toad. And there's also a toad that'll appear at the end of the screen that I can't damage boost through anywhere. So I just have to really remember some of this stuff. Okay. So the only reason that we do Green Planet first is because Blinky can destroy these ice blocks in Blue Planet. And the only reason that we do Blue Planet next is because we get access to a girl named Jenny. And she is absolutely OP. She does the most damage in the entire game with her special, and there's absolutely no way to outdamage her. So Upcoming is an iceberg screen. This screen is absolutely notorious. I probably cannot talk on this screen, but basically how this screen works is it's like an auto scroller for like 50 seconds, thankfully not minutes. And if you start killing these toads out of order, so left and right, this thing will start destroying. But if you start killing these toads out of order, this screen becomes incredibly random. It's already becoming random because I didn't kill some of these toads in the right way. But this absolutely is probably the hardest part of hard mode. You really, it's not good, man. Like, this screen is not good at all. Like, especially like once you start killing toads in a weird way. Also, the iceberg can eat your jump. Oh, see, there you go. Proof that we're on hard mode. But actually the iceberg ate my jump there. So you have like different things that you're really dealing with. And not only is it a huge amount of time lost every single death, but it is really, again, hard to do this. This is easy, like if you can beat this on hard mode, then you can beat the rest of the game. There's not another section in this game. Oh my god. We're okay, Bucky, just calm down. Okay. See, like that toad coming in from the bottom left, like zooming like that. Oh my god, dude. Oh! Okay. No, toad! Okay, we got it. Alright. Easily the scariest part of the run is over. So I'll take second try. That's really rough. So I have to remember now, at the bottom of this screen, I can't damage boost because I was playing normal and you just damage boost through here. Oop, I got stuck on the piston. Yeah, so like as Kat said, we almost wrong warped. Oh, dude, my brain is in normal, I swear to god. Like, I keep thinking I can damage boost through some of these things. So I really have to remember like hard mode only strats. I knew that toad was going to be there. Same with this guy, what am I doing? I'm trying to damage boost through normal. So, okay, there we go. So, we enter this boss. This boss is notoriously bad. Like, nobody in the Bucky community that speedruns this game likes this boss. He has 160 health. So, every bullet that I shoot, it literally does 1 damage. So we're going to play it a little bit safe on this boss fight. I started doing it differently in normal. But yeah, you just basically have to mash 160 times. And you can death warp in this game, so basically you wouldn't technically wrong warp on the iceberg, but in this particular level there's 2 different wrong warps that come up here. And how they work is, I'll explain when I get a little bit closer to the screen. But basically, if you die and your body, by the game, which is only in Yellow Planet and Red Planet, pushes you into the screen transition, for every pixel that your body pushes you into the screen transition, you warp 1 screen ahead. So you can use this in Red Planet and Yellow Planet to basically skip to the bosses and skip an extraordinary amount of... Oop, okay, apparently we're letting him live. You can skip an extraordinary amount of auto-scrollers. So it works out really well in hard mode because you only have to take 1 hit. Normally you have to damage boost yourself a bunch of times in normal to get down to 1 health here. You don't have to do that obviously in hard mode. My brain is so messed up, man. Like, I can't remember how to do this section now because I changed it in normal to match like Callum's record. So I don't know how to run through this without doing like the old strat that I was doing. So coming up here is the climb. This vertical climb is like super annoying. These toads, like when they're rolling in a ball like that, they can sometimes like roll out of their ball and shoot based on proximity. So you have to be a little bit careful like how you spawn the screen. Like here if I jump for example, like a toad's gonna spawn here too. And this is the room that we're gonna set up the death warp in. This jump here is I think actually a 1-frame jump. It's very tight. It might be more than a 1-frame jump. But we're going to kill this first toad, we're gonna kill the second toad with Blinky. We're going to immediately fly over and then we're gonna get shot to death in the middle of the air and die on this boulder. The boulder will push our body, as I said, into the screen transition. That skips an auto-scroller, and then we wind up at the boss. So why we have Jenny is literally, as I said, she does the most damage per frame. Like, she does something ridiculous again, like 3 damage per frame, or 3 damage per second, I don't know what it is, but even if you mashed as fast as humanly possible, like, you can't out-damage her. So we're going into Yellow Planet. I have to remember Yellow Planet, we have to immediately jump. There's some weird stuff that you do here. We brush up against that crater for frames, because it's going to force and manipulate 2 worms to spawn. So this is the first worm that it forced, and there's going to be 1 more. Usually there's 3 if you waste too many frames on the screen. So we forced 2, we got it, we're good. This is probably one of the more technical screens, like in terms of like all the characters and you switching between everybody. In hard mode, you really need to utilize all the characters to make sure that you don't get shot by stuff. So it's a really cool screen. I wish the game was more like that, but unfortunately it's not. A lot of characters can kind of carry you between screens and whatever. So we're gonna switch to Jenny to power her up. These are what those like P coins do, and we're also gonna die. Same thing applies here. We're actually gonna skip almost like 3 or 4 minutes of auto scrollers, and we're gonna try for a harder quick kill here. Almost. So you can do that all in like one of her ball cycles, but I'll take that without dying. So we effectively saved everybody from being kidnapped, and as soon as we saved everybody on every planet from being kidnapped, everyone's like, hey, thank you, Bucky, and then they immediately get kidnapped again. So, goodbye. They all get thrown into like a prison cell, they get like hypnotized with like this hypnotizing ray, and now we need to rescue them one more time. So it's great. I appreciate that, Brickman. There's a lot that goes into this. Like, this is probably one of the hardest speedruns ever that I learned. So I do appreciate, like, that's like ultimate compliment, where it's like, man, like, how do you do this? 'Cause it's a lot, for sure. Oh, shot in the face. I should have waited there too, because I got stuck on that block. So I think we're up to 2 deaths. It's not bad so far. So there's technically a 1 frame window jump that I'll try to get right here. Nope, didn't get it. Blinky has an exclusive glitch on the screen where he can like jump under those blocks in a certain way. He can like clip into the blocks and stuff. Whoa, that was close. And we're entering probably the worst section coming up in hard mode, in my opinion, anyway. Which is the Jenny refight. So luckily we fight Jenny first, unluckily Jenny has a lot of health. That jump across the laser is like a 3 frame window. And this boss fight is annoying. Okay. Alright. That was not bad. I'll take that. Yeah, Jenny is super annoying in the refights. More so this area right here. Like, Bucky can bump his head in 2 different spots and just immediately die. And then you have to redo the whole refight. So coming up we have a pair of rooms that are notorious for causing deaths. This jump right here is miserable. Luckily we got it. And then there's another jump coming up also that's really rough in the next section. I probably could have went for that. I probably could have went for that too. I'm a little bit off cycle. So if you ever played this game, one thing too that's worth noting is controlling the orb, like Jenny's attack here, is notoriously slippery. It's actually extremely difficult. So I feel there's kind of like 2 parts of the speedrun. Like, it's learning how to do all the speedrunning stuff, but also learning how to control that ball. So this room is incredibly bad. There's like 3 different bad jumps here that you can die on. That was one, and then I guess it's 2. This jump coming up here, we made it different. I guess it's a little bit safer. It didn't used to be safe though. And we're entering a really weird auto-scroller section. If you watch Bucky's foot walking half on this pixel, right there. So like Bucky's foot is just like half over that 1 pixel. I guess it would be his right foot. It makes this auto-scroller about 75% safe. So we can just stand and look up and shoot in this section, and we're not going to get hit by anything that's either falling or spawning in front of us or on top of us. Normally, if you don't stand here, you have to jump around like a crazy person. Like, you have to destroy so many things, which is actually very hard on hard mode. It's not the worst on normal because you can obviously take hits and stuff, but on hard mode, it's substantially harder. So we don't have to really worry about anything for the most part until we start to see spikes above our head, and then we actually have to move. So it trivializes this section for sure. So there's the spikes, so we gotta move now. It's important that you move at like certain times because the toads are kind of like tracking to you. So depending how you move and depending on your position, like that's where they spawn and they start moving towards you. And if you're in like a completely weird area, or like completely out of bounds, or not out of bounds, but like a completely weird area, like on hard mode again, it's really annoying to deal with because they can shoot very randomly or they can like track you really randomly. And again, normal, it's not too bad because you can take the hit from the toad and it doesn't make a big difference. But funny enough, in normal, you don't want to take any damage for the most part anyway, because at the end of a level, your health refills, and it takes a long time for your health bar to go back up to full. And that's not a problem in hard mode because you can never finish a level with like low health and then lose time to the health refill. But you still don't want to obviously take a hit, so. This last toad we don't have to worry about, he's always going to spawn up there. And this is the last of the people that were captive. We're gonna get the duck back, and then we're gonna enter the next stage. So that was a good fight. Weirdly, this is the only spot in the entire run that after a boss fight, you have control of your character. And this actually matters because I'll start and I'll stop with Willy, and I'll literally like allow the game to freeze me when it comes to Willy. And going into the next stage, the game will remember that I picked Willy, so I don't have to character swap, and I'll be able to pick up 2 coins then. So we'll be able to charge Willy to full power, which is important for only one boss, for one shot in that one boss. So we duck here to manipulate that guy to jump over us, and then we grab the first coin, and then the second coin is right after here, and then there we go. Willy is full power. We did it. So I have to remember, can't damage boost through that on hard mode, and we're gonna switch to Blinky. Because Blinky coming up, there's a section with a bunch of like bugs. He's got a slightly smaller hitbox. This section is scary. It is incredibly easy to die on those bugs, so I'm glad that we got through that. Hopefully we don't die. But there's an incredibly specific way to do this next section. If you look in the top right corner of your screen, there's going to be a bug. That bug on the very far right corner, we have to wait for him to come down, this guy, and then we can go through here. If you don't wait like that, that screen is a nightmare. This is one of the hardest screens in the game, and it is also incredibly hard to one cycle this screen. Let's go! So salvage is a really short level, but there's a lot of hard tricks in it. And also coming up here, there's a 1-frame window, technically in one more screen as well that we're trying to go for. So we have to slide under these, like, I don't know what they are. So wait, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there's a 1-frame jump to get out of here. Oh, we got it. Normally you have to wait for that block. If you jump on 1 frame at the top of, like, again, whatever that mud stuff was, you can escape that way. Okay, so that is salvage. I appreciate that again, Badge. It's hard to do this one in a marathon setting. It's actually insane. Like, but I do appreciate the compliment. So we're entering the worst stage, I think. Okay. All of those are really, really scary. Okay, I just have to focus here for a sec. This is a really hard, because how you do this is completely different on normal, and as I kept saying, I've been running normal mode, not hard mode, so like my brain really has to go back a little bit in time right now to remember hard only strats. Because there's like certain sections, there's like certain sections where you just don't stop, but you need to kind of slow down a little bit when it comes to hard mode. Dying on this screen would be horrible. We're gonna risk it all for Alex. There's, I think like a 2-pixel jump coming up here. We're gonna try it anyway. Oh, we didn't get it. We fell off the ledge. We tried, Alex. That saves a little bit of time in hard mode. Otherwise, you have to wait for like this guy to like walk past you and towards you or whatever to jump over him. Yeah, I always love the graphics in this game. Okay, we're apparently gonna wait on this entire platform. That's true. That's very true, actually. Okay, that was very slow, but whatever. So this next sequence of rooms coming up on hard mode, you have to kill those 2 toads immediately. I think every shot, there's 3 shots there, I think every shot is a 2-frame window. This to me is like the most anti-piracy room, like the previous room. So coming up next also, there's like 2 rooms, like this room doesn't matter either, but then the following room, there's also one more room like that where you have to like really shoot those guys. Otherwise you're immediately gonna get killed. So those are extremely tight lasers. Probably again, literally like piracy deterrence if I were to guess. And these next 3 rooms are absolutely terrifying on hard mode, and I think just in general when it comes to... Okay, I'm actually gonna die, I think. Oh, I got lucky. These next 3 rooms are extremely terrifying on hard mode. You have to spawn these little like monkey dudes in a very specific thing, otherwise, like a very specific way, otherwise they're going to literally spawn on top of your head and immediately kill you. Or they spawn right behind you and they shoot you. So we powered up Willy for that 1 shot, that's it. That's why we had to gather 2 coins for him. Okay, that's bad. We're probably going to get shot here. So when you enter this room, there's kind of like a stage timer. Okay, we got lucky. Okay, we got really lucky. When you enter this room, there's like a stage timer, and usually if you're getting in here within like a relatively decent amount of time, you get like a top shot, like the boss just shot there. Otherwise you get like a really, really bad shot. And it'll like directly go right into you. So we are entering the final area. This is an extremely terrifying area on hard mode. Normal, it's almost free. You don't really have to worry about this split in normal. Hard mode, there's so many things in this level that is just like absolutely insane. The worst part about... okay, perfect. I was gonna say the worst part about this game is if you take a death, it's almost like a minute and a half in on hard mode where there's finally a checkpoint. So we're up to 3 deaths, I think. But yeah, like taking a death here on this first screen, there's like no checkpoint for like almost like a minute and 40 seconds. So it's always kind of like a clench moment in the speedrun where you're just like, okay, man, and then it only gets worse and worse and worse. So it's not even the worst part of this level. What makes this level extremely hard, and I think again was like maybe again like piracy design, is there's going to be some ships that appear on the screen right here. These shots track you, and it doesn't sound like that means much, but it tracks you as soon as they spawn, and you have to be in extremely specific areas in hard mode to not get killed as soon as they spawn these bullets. So that last plume of smoke was where the checkpoint was. If I were to die at any point in time there, I would have had to do that entire section again. So you think like, well, you know, as I said, like the worst part's over. No, actually it's not. So there is a head boss that's coming up that probably, in my opinion, is still like the most terrifying thing in hard mode on pace. Like if you're actually running this and you learn this game, it is absolutely insane to deal with that guy. This little section coming up here is not too bad. You can again manipulate the little ships to shoot in a very specific way before you move Bucky around. So the ships aren't as like populous as the previous section, and they have to shoot in a very specific way. Like once they hit the edge of the screen, then they'll shoot, so you can get rid of most of them. There is a 7-frame window to do double damage here. This is the head boss coming up. So what makes him terrifying is there's a 50-50 chance that he will break off going to the top or bottom. I did get double damage, so this thing is gonna die right there. This is not double damage though. So yeah, there's a 50-50 chance that this thing is gonna break off to the top or the bottom. I can't tell. It just depends on how fast I kill these pillars. It went down. Oh my god, I didn't die. I don't know how I didn't die there. So what makes this really freaky is, again, if you look at the screen, like the bullets that he has on screen, I'm so out of place. He can have 3 bullets on the screen at the exact same time, and you just have to keep all 3 bullets in your peripheral at any given time, because as soon as one of the bullets goes off screen, he'll immediately spawn another one. So if you're in a corner, or if you're beside him like that, you just have to really have fast reactions. And on hard mode, he is absolutely, I think, one of the hardest bosses to deal with, because if you die at any point, you have to redo the entire boss fight. That was an incredibly slow kill, but I was really out of position the first time when it broke apart like that. And you think, well, okay, you know what, it's over, right? Like, no. So now it leads into one more boss kill, where you have a 2-pixel window to do a quick kill here that saves you almost a minute and a half. So it only gets worse and worse and worse in hard mode. And then finally after this boss, it's not too bad. But if you die on this particular boss, you lose so much time. Like, you lose like probably 50 seconds. And if you don't do the quick kill efficiently, you also lose like a minute and a half. So like, you really need to do the quick kill. Like, you don't have a choice. The quick kill saves like a lot of time. So we need to line ourselves up within a 2-pixel window coming down here. No, we missed it. Okay, I got it now. I don't think this is good enough though. Yeah, it's not. So we will see if we don't get killed here. Otherwise it'll cycle around. It's very possible we just die here though. Okay. See, the dumb thing about this too is there's no health. Like, all of this ship's health, it doesn't matter. It's just the end that you have to kill. But this is how much time you miss if you literally miss the quick kill. It has to cycle all the way around again. So you literally lose like almost a minute for literally not killing the back part of the ship. But like, you could destroy, and I did, everything else on this ship and nothing happens. So the ship isn't dead, it's just the back part you have to kill. So how the quick kill works is, like, Willy has a laser, and if you shoot in a specific pixel range, it does double damage instead of normal damage. Okay, whatever, game. We were literally one shot away. Whatever. Like, I feel robbed on that one, but whatever. But yeah, so it does double damage instead of normal damage. So we want to line ourselves up with the heart here. To skip the heart, because then the helmet coming up from this guy won't kill us. It'll just literally pass by us. And we're gonna alternate between Willy and Bucky for this final kill. Which is a little bit terrifying on hard mode, but whatever. Alright, so after we stop moving, that is time. So 27-17, that is hard mode Bucky. I think that was 3 deaths. I will take that. Anything sub 30, anything I would say even below like 5 deaths, I'm super happy with in a marathon showing. This is an impossible speedrun. So I am quite happy with that time. And then we can breathe. There's so much to explain in that game, man. Thank you, Badge. Obscure Lifeform, Neo, Will, Berkman, Creature Type Sorcery, Alex, Natalie, Tracker, Legendary Moon, Eric. What's up, Eric? Sure. Me and my girlfriend are holding an event that we've held 3 times before. Sorry, this will be our 3rd time. We've held it twice before. And if you have any interest... I didn't have anything related to that, by the way, Alex. Like, I literally got to go link searching. If you have any interest in joining it yourself, and you run any kind of NES game... I don't know where I put this link now. Alright, here we go. Here is the submission form. Oh, apparently... Wait, I'm an idiot. That's the submission form. And yeah, it's basically... Hopefully it's going to be 3 days of NES stuff. It's all NES speedruns. It's basically like the old GDQ block. The first time that we held it, there was about 25 runners and it filled up a day. The second time that we ran it, there was about 50 runners and it filled up 2 days. So already there's about 2 days of submissions. If you run any NES game, like, please feel free to submit. It's a fun time. We'll hold it in July, I think from July 5th to 7th. So Alex submitted Turtles, which I fully intend that he's going to softlock again. But yeah, really good time. There's actually some really cool things that were submitted this time. I look forward to it. And that's basically the gist of it. It's like GDQ block of old, before they started not featuring NES games. I always thought that the NES community is really good. It's a very fun community. It's a very competitive community. Like, there's a lot of skill in this community. It's very cool to see what people submit. And I, again, hope you want to give it a chance. Like, feel free to submit something there if you run an NES game. It doesn't have to be, you know, godlike or anything. We accept showcases and stuff as well. But give it a shot if you're interested. It's always a pretty good time. And yeah, I can still run Turtles if you're like absolutely ahead of schedule. If not, tell me what you want to do. I assume Turtles is a thing because you said so. But in that case, give me a second. I need water. I'm not used to talking for like commentary forever, and I appreciate that again, Tracker. It's really hard to explain that one. That's one of the... At this point, I feel I'm okay at commentary, but there's a couple games where I struggle. 40 minutes ahead. Okay, well, instead of leaving you guys in complete silence,